Afternoon, folks. It's your girl, Liza Soler. I am so thankful it's Friday because we get to drop a new episode. Today, I have a really great guest, amazing coach. He's hot in Florida right now. Kevin Gleason is in the building today. So let's welcome him and let's get this interview started. What's up, ma'am? How are you doing this morning?
How's everything? Thank you for having me on. I'm
Yeah,
good. I'm good.
man.
Getting ready for Thanksgiving.
Honestly, me too. Like I took out my turkey yesterday to defrost, and I mean it's been a couple years since I baked a turkey. I'm not gonna lie, because I usually have my grandma. She handles that. But this year with coronavirus, a lot of my family were not really getting together, and it's kind of weird. I hate it right now. But I'm like,
Yeah,
all
it's
right,
tough.
I gotta man the station to take one for the team and make my own turkey this
Yeah, it's definitely
time.
tough, but just one year, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully next year will be different. Because I'm so used to like tradition and things like that. What about you
Absolutely.
guys? How are you guys doing Thanksgiving this year?
I'll still be with my family. We'll go to my
Hmm.
mom's house, and my brothers and my sister will come over and stuff like that. So I'm out in Sunrise, so they live in Pembroke Pines, so we're all gonna go over there.
Okay, okay. So I mean, I know it's fight week. Miguel Baeza, UFC, fighting on Saturday. I know Miguel's like he's very consistent with his training. Like he's a
hmm
all year round kind of training. So, how prepared do you feel like he's ready for this fight against what Takashi Sato?
Yeah. I feel great about it. I've been training Miguel for about like 8 years now.
Mhm.
So I've been with him from the start. And we just, we're always in the gym. So as far as his training goes and his preparation, we got the call about like 3.5 weeks out that he'd be fighting Soto.
Mhm.
And all we had to really do was make an adjustment, to southpaw. We fought enough southpaws. I mean, we fought a southpaw to get into just recently, to get in to the UFC and contender. So um, the preparation's been good. You know what I mean? He's been in the gym. Like I said, he never really left the gym. So we feel really good about this fight.
Yeah, he's undefeated, man, and he's a really great fighter. I mean, I think I saw one fight of his before he went pro. I think it was XFN, and I it was an incredible fight to see it in
Yeah,
person. So I can only
he was a
imagine.
southpaw too. That guy.
It
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
was a good fight. I remember that one. And I've been watching all his fights, fighter, contender,
Mm,
I think the one here, and I think there was one in Tampa.
yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to this fight. It's always like this anxiety week and everybody's pumped, and he's a, South Florida boy, and everybody's ready to support him, and I only wish him the best for sure for this fight. And I mean, you have a bunch of badass fighters. Honestly, your whole camp, your
Thank you.
whole camp is just a bunch of beasts, and like you guys like roll, like stay ready. Honestly,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And you even have females that are like pretty badass too. Which is a question I have to ask. It's probably going to be a tough question, but who do you enjoy training more, the women or the males? I'm sorry,
uh,
guys, for the gym. It's probably going to be
you
gym
know
talk
what?
later, but
I'm gonna give it a straight political answer. I mean, I enjoy training both parties. It really what it comes down to is the people that I enjoy training the most are the most receptive individuals, the people that get it the most, the people that I can click with and that are, retain the most information, that are the biggest students. I train a lot of people. I have a lot of clients. So I
Mhm.
think that, when you're training somebody that's receptive and always a student, that's probably the best way to go. So, I mean, I couldn't say it's crazy. I will say women pick up a little bit faster than men for the most
Really?
part. I won't be in all situations. Yeah, I just think that sometimes men's, egos get involved and in front of things. But I think that women do pick up, um, they retain the information a little bit faster and they pick up the information a little bit faster. But, you know, I just think when it comes to the men's side, they can pick things up because of their athleticism. You know what I mean? If you have an athlete in the gym, they're going to pick it up a little bit faster than, a woman would, I guess.
Okay, okay. I mean, honestly, I do want, like, I have a hope and dream that you'll have like a badass lady fighter come out of a camp and go into the cage or into a boxing match. I know that you've talked about, being a little bit skeptical of like having, like, coaching a woman fighter.
For sure.
Why? Why is
I'm
that?
not skeptical of it because I do have I mean, it's not, I'm sure you've listened to other interviews where I say, it's more of a damage thing for me. I
Mhm.
understand I've been around boxing since I was 13. I'm 34 now. So I've been around for a long time and I've seen, the dark side of fighting, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, I guess that's my biggest fear when it comes to a woman is, taking that kind of damage, you know what I mean? Because I've seen, even some of the highest athletes that I've trained or, been around, I've seen them get dropped in the gym and hurt in the gym and things like that, So I think that the education
Hmm.
with some individuals isn't there when it comes to teaching boxing or teaching fighting in general. So that's my fear. I don't just throw anybody in there and say, hey, we're gonna do this. You know what I mean? There has to be the education there. So I
Yeah.
think that's it. And the women that I've trained, for the most part, haven't really been fighters. They've
Right.
been individuals that that got into boxing late and wanted to actually take a couple of fights, whether it's amateur or eventually go pro, stuff like that. So I guess that's more so what it is. I just don't want women taking damage. I mean, I'm kind of raised old school.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I feel like for me, when I first started, I mean, I've been in like sports my whole life. My dad's a coach. He's a soccer
Yeah.
coach. And so I've always had that coach in my corner. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been believed that I can do anything, honestly. And putting myself through my own training camps with my own team, it is a lot. It is a lot
Yeah.
on your body. It's a lot to endure. I've gotten punched in the face by guys too, and I've taken those hits, and I've been
Mm-hmm.
thrown on the ground. And you know what? I felt like I didn't care. I was learning, the hard way. And then little by little, I started to improve and improve. And, I think like if somebody were to come up to you and just like, hey, listen, if I would say like maybe a woman that's already been well established in the game, hey, listen, Kevin, I have a fight coming up. I have a contract. I want to train with you. What would you say to that question? You still would like say
I've
no?
trained girls for fights.
Yeah.
I don't want it to come off like that. I mean, there's some fantastic female fighters. It's nothing like that. I guess, again, I'm a traditional boxing coach, and I see now women's MMA is on the rise. So it's nothing like that. It's more of like I said, it's tough when you're training a woman. It's hard to get them sparring. It
Hmm.
really is. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of women fighters out there, so it's hard to get them sparring. So you're having them spar with men. Um, so it's that balance of getting them in there with the right guys to spar with, guys that that won't tee off on them and beat them. You want them to get high level sparring, but at the same time, a man and a woman are just going to hit different, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So I've
You're
trained
right.
girls for fights. I've
You're
trained girls for
absolutely
fights.
right.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. It's not that. It's do I feel comfortable with it at times? Look, if I'm putting a guy in there to spar, I kind of know I've been around boxing long enough for many, many years. I know where to draw the line. With a woman, I guess I'm still trying to figure that out because I've only been training women for 3 years now. And
Hmm.
I got some badass females in the gym.
You
I got some
do.
badass females. So it's just that I guess it's still learning to like where I can pull them out, where to stop it, you know, stuff like that. It's just an adjustment that I'm trying to learn.
I think as a woman, since I've been on that side, and honestly, I hate when guys take it easy on me. I know it's like you have to because there's a difference between male, female. Yes, I understand.
Yeah,
But I feel like for me, I felt like that was handicapping me
sure,
because
absolutely.
I'm not going to learn, you know, if you're not really teaching me or giving me that chance to prove myself,
Yeah,
so that's the whole like I guess that's the whole thing of it, the balance of it,
and it's
that
handicapping. It's handicapping them as well. For guys to go out there and spar. What I try to do again, I'm a boxing coach, so what I try to do is I try to get my girls to spar with, young, smaller amateur boxers, males,
Okay.
because I know that they haven't hit that peak yet where have their man strength, a 16-year-old boy, 17-year-old boy, you know. So I know that they sorry,
Yeah, don't worry.
got a call too.
Yeah.
I
Busy
know that
morning.
they haven't hit that man strength yet. So when they're in there, they're not killing them. So you want to find an equal balance. I want both parties. I mean, the way I spar is we go in. It's usually scheduled sparring. Hey, we're gonna spar so and so, and it's gonna be 6 rounds. So we're going in there that day. It's been planned out, and it's not like group sparring. You'll never come into my gym where we're having like 6 people sparring at the same time. It's always you might have a sparring day where everybody's coming to spar, but I do it very traditionally and old school. It's so and so. It's Mike and Tom. They're sparring each other for 4 3-minute rounds. So that's where I find the balance at. I want both parties to get work. I don't want some kid holding my girl's hand, and I don't want vice versa.
Right. I feel that's great because as a woman, I want to learn everything I can. I want to absorb everything I can. Like if I get punched, if I get kicked, if I get
Absolutely.
kneed, it's something that I also have that also builds my defense. I'm learning offense
Absolutely.
and defense. So I'm learning how to
Absolutely.
block. I'm learning how to,
Sure.
that's how you learn, honestly, on the
That's
way up.
exactly how you learn in this game. I tell people that all the time. You can hit the mitts, you can hit the back. I'm going to teach you everything under the sun, but you have to learn it in sparring as well.
Mhm.
And it's a hard lesson a lot of the times. Hey, I got hit with this shot. That's not going to happen again. I got to adapt to that. I got hit with that. This worked for me. That's where you pick up and really apply the tools that you're learning in the gym, the fundamentals.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I still need to work on a lot of head movement and footwork.
I
And
noticed
so,
that's a woman thing, man. Maybe because women are so hard at it. Oh, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's just a natural thing. You know what I mean? For most people, to be honest with you, is moving their heads. When
I
it
think
comes
it's
to
just that
learning.
anxiety of getting hit. Even if I still have that little bit of anxiety when I start sparring somebody.
Natural, everybody does. That's a good thing though. That healthy little fear or
Okay.
anxiety keeps you sharp.
Yeah, because but I feel like when I do start sparring, all my training goes out the window. Like I just black out, and then I'll watch video later. Like I love to tape my sessions with my coach because I have to see what I'm doing wrong. I have to see what
Yeah,
I'm doing wrong. And of course, I don't want to overthink things. I just do it so I can improve the next one. Like I'll think
sure.
about it while I'm sparring.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I enjoy the boxing side of it. I do also enjoy the MMA. I do miss training. I miss Broward, period. Um, I mean, there's talks of me coming back. I just, want to make sure it's the right decision before I head back down there. So coronavirus. I know that changed a lot of stay ready procedures. You guys closed down for a while. You started the Zoom sessions. Are you still doing the Zoom like one-on-one sessions, or is that like that just
um,
quarantine?
I do it for the great thing about Zoom was it opened me up to people outside of my gym. I train people out in London, Ireland. I trained somebody out in I forget where it was, some small little country. I trained somebody out in Brazil. Like, I got to, see, a different, Australia, a lot of different places. So that was a unique experience. I still do it for, people that are obviously don't live in the state or the country. I'm just a little
Mm-hmm.
bit busier now that I'm back in the gym and, I'm kind of recycling through fight camps.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that I do, we closed down for about a month and a half. Not even, it was about a little over a month, maybe a month and a week. But I have a private gym, so I
Right.
don't do like the members and the open gym kind of thing. It's all by appointment only. So we closed down for about a month and a week, and then Miguel was originally supposed to fight Matt Brown, I believe, March 14th.
March. Mm-hmm.
That got obviously taken off. And then about a month in, they asked us to fight, and we had about 3 weeks to prepare. So we just kind of went right back into the gym. So it was crazy. It's been a little bit of an adjustment because obviously there were a lot of fights that were supposed to happen that didn't happen. I
Right.
wound up getting sick myself from it, so I had to take off, about a month.
A
So it
month,
kind of
yeah.
it just was crazy.
Yeah, I've been going through it. Not a lot of people know, but I was quarantined the last month. Honestly, I had somebody in my family, contracted it, and
Yeah,
because of exposure, we had to shut down my
yeah,
whole
for sure.
family. So, like,
Yeah,
we all took tests after that, and it's just like a domino effect
it
with the
sucks.
coronavirus. It does, and like, just I would say that I was starting to have like moments of like not going into depression, but like just I'm not moving, I'm not out,
Yeah,
I'm not it's like I'm bottled in, and
movement is
I'm
medicine.
oh
Movement
my
is
god.
medicine. I say it all
I
the
was
time.
just
Yeah,
talking about that with one of my old coaches last night because, I do struggle with anxiety, and I would say boxing has helped. Just overall working out helps with just letting that stress out and like overthinking things, and also like it helps me with my physical. And so
sure.
I haven't been able to go to the gym because of this
Yeah.
quarantine, and it's like I'm like going nuts right now. But
Hmm.
it did give me time to really dedicate it to this podcast. Honestly, it
Yeah.
was like a blessing in disguise because I've wanted to do this podcast for a very long time. I just didn't have that motivation until like, all right, I got nothing to do. Get it going. Just do it. Do it however whatever it takes. And here I am now, and I'm having an interview with Kevin Gleason. Hello.
I think that's the most important part about what people need to learn about themselves. Everything that I kind of do in my life is kind of based around my mental makeup is based around fighting. And I think with a situation like coronavirus and the craziness, and it's just constantly adapting to the new. And
Right.
that's just the way a fight is. You're constantly adapting to whatever's being put in front of you. So I think that a lot of people should have took the time or are still taking the time to do something new, like starting a podcast, or for me it was transferring over and doing Zoom sessions and things like that. You have to take the time to really, believe it or not, we're hopefully, knock on wood, we'll never get a time like this again where life is kind of put on pause. And I think people are constantly in a state of instant gratification, that they need to constantly be doing something, in the sense of like, work and this and that and the family, and you know what I mean. It's time to take a little bit of time for yourself and to figure out, like you did, doing something that you really wanted to do. I think that's the most important part. When I got sick, it was back in June, so it was like early on. There was like 10,000 cases. It was actually kind of sucked.
Mhm.
But I had to be quarantined for like 20 days, you know what I mean? And that was fine. Like all I did was just start taking mental notes of, I started writing a lot about, different concepts, different drills, different practices. I studied a ton. It was, it sucked in a sense, you know what I mean? Yeah, you get a little stir crazy at times, but I think people, they need to just adapt to it a little bit more.
I feel like it's a challenge for people because it's you against your own mind and your
For sure.
mindset. And
A lot of
so,
people are getting whooped out there.
and being social is very important, but also having that time for yourself is like the best. So I know you developed a program, the Stay Ready training camp. That's
Yeah.
something that you're still building. How's that going for you?
It's going great. I love it. It was different talking into a camera and teaching into a camera. I had to make that adjustment. I'm still learning to make that adjustment, because I'm not crazy about talking into a camera. You know what I mean? Like me and you were talking back and forth, but you're just talking. You're not a camera just pointing at you. But I'm having a great time with it. It's actually, to be honest with you, it's making me a better teacher,
Yeah.
because now I have to verbally express myself. I have to slow the things down to teach. I'm having a great time with it. It'll be out January 8th. Knock on wood, if everything goes good. I mean, we're on track to do it. I just have to get the website completed. Um, and the library's almost done. I got about 2 more shootings to do, and we'll be up and live with it. So I'm having a great time with it.
Yeah, I honestly think it's great. I've seen the clips that you post and I love it. I love that you take the time to slow it down because, you're like the Mitt King and everybody's seeing
Yeah.
the fast pace. Everybody's seeing the fast pace. Like I think it's incredible that all these people that you train have the skill to like, and their hands are so fast. And I'm like, honestly, I'm very slow with my mitts. I'm still working on the mitt training, but just the speed of it is intimidating. Like, how long did it take for them to learn how to get that combo? You know,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
and so now that I see that you're breaking it down, I'm like, okay, I like this. I'm able to now
Yeah.
watch. I'm able to move my head this way and like come up with a counter. And I love that. And I can't wait for that to launch and for everybody to be a part of that process. And so I wish you the best on that for
Thank you so
sure.
much.
Um, so obviously, I'm sure you've been getting a lot of questions about the Allers versus Palomino fight.
No.
Oh my God. I remember just seeing the hype of it, of course, the development of the beef,
Yeah.
and just like I watched a lot of the interviews. It was pretty entertaining. I think it was
It was
pretty
extremely
entertaining.
entertaining.
And I obviously talked to Mitch about it before because I think I talked to him the day of weigh-ins. And
Yeah.
so I was like, all right, I'm gonna talk to Kevin after the fight. Let's see how this goes. And then the fight happens.
Sure.
And I didn't expect it to go that way. I did not. I was in shock. I was like, what did this just, and I had a couple of drinks before because I was like in
Yeah, for sure.
anxiety. I
Yeah.
was like, all right, let's go, Jim. Let's get this one done. And then it turned out a different way. What was your initial reaction to that moment when you realized like, all right, it's over and it was done
I mean,
so quickly?
I was definitely heartbroken, but
Yeah.
the game that we played, Jim and I, was kind of kill or be killed. Jim was a pure grappler. I think a lot of people don't understand when they looked at that. Jim was a pure grappler. He had 19 professional MMA fights. Um, and he had in those 19, he had 2 KOs, and I think they were both on the ground. You know what I mean? Like KO punched him
Yeah.
downward. So his boxing was never really, his strong suit. And I've known Jim since I was 16. I think the big connection there was more of just being heartbroken because, Jim's one of my best friends. You know what I mean? I love
Right.
the guy to death. We've been through a lot. We've known each other since high school. When he was wrestling in high school in the 10th grade, I was actually boxing. So we've known each other. I'm close with his family, his wife, his kids. So there's a lot more emotional connection there
Right.
than regular fighting. So that was a heartbreak. But I knew the game we played, and Jim knew it too. Bare knuckle for us was supposed to be a one and done. But it was he was going to come out there. There was bad blood there.
Yeah.
So it played out the way it played out. And that's the game. I've been involved in some big wins in my life, and I've been involved in some big losses. Unfortunately, that's one of them. You just got to hang your head up high. You know what I mean? And what Jim accomplished in bare knuckle
It's gonna
was
be tough to
nothing short
follow.
of great. Yeah, I mean, he went 4-0. Like I said, pure grappler. Jim didn't have no boxing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 4-0 with 3 knockouts, and then the last one unfortunately didn't go our way.
I
Sucks.
get it. Yeah, it does. You think he's gonna take a break from? Well, actually, not. I think I just saw him post something about the guy that
Whatever
interrupted.
he does, you can hear it first officially on your podcast. I'm retired from bare knuckle.
Okay.
I had said it was supposed to be a one and done. They gave us a short notice fight, that we couldn't say no to. It was a legend like Leonard Garcia we fought on our second fight, so I was like, let's do it. And then he just kind of tailed into it and kept going, and I was behind him with it. And my mentality at that point was I'll be with him until he loses, because there's no point in bare knuckle to me. And I'm not knocking the sport. I just think it's not about the better man. I think it's about the guy who hits first and hits hardest. And that's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? It's 2 guys going out there, and listen, we didn't have our night there. We got knocked out, but we've laid a lot of bodies out ourselves. So for me personally, I told Jim this, I'm done with bare knuckle. I won't, and I will totally support him from the outside as a fan if he decides
Right.
to do it again, but I don't want to do that again. I don't enjoy the art of bare knuckle, if you will. Like I'm a teacher, so I like the preparation. I like, and I'm not saying you can't, because we did a good job forming the system. It's just very hard, because it doesn't matter how well we prepared, and we prepared real hard for that fight. It's just about who lands first. If he would have got hit with a boxing glove or an MMA glove, I think we would have still been in that fight. It was just a bare knuckle,
There's
So
only
it's a
so
game.
much you can do in that type of fight style.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you heard it here first, people, on the Lisa with the Z podcast. He's retired from bare knuckle. You know what? Jim has made history. That's all we can really say. He is in the books. He's in history,
100%.
and you can say that he has had a phenomenal history in the fight game period.
He's had a great career. To walk away, like I said, he's made good money. He's you can literally categorize him as a little bit of a legend. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In his own right. So you've done it all. You've boxed, or he's done MMA. He's grappled. He's done bare knuckle. Like,
what's next? Like,
yeah. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I know he's talking about taking another fight. When he told me no matter what, we were going to retire, win or lose. He said he was going to retire right there. If he won the belts. But I guess I don't know.
I don't know. I saw that call out the other day, and I'm like, okay, we'll see what's up with that. I think it's just just the hype of the game too for bare knuckle. Sure. I like it. I like bare knuckle.
Absolutely.
It's just another fight that I add onto all the multiple fight nights that I watch.
There you go. Yeah.
So I just heard the news yesterday, because I'm hoping to have Rob on the show. I was supposed to, I was trying to shoot for him so he can have like his fight week interview with me for combat night. And so I heard that the fighter pulled out. Is it like due to injury, or is it just,
I'm not sure. I heard that he randomly, like, I just got a text from Mitch that, hey, Rob's opponent pulled out. They're trying to work on another opponent who's 2-0. Mm-hmm. I don't know how Rob feels as far as if he wants to fight him or not. I know at this point, Rob just kind of wants to get busy. It's been almost a year since he's fought. So we'll see what happens with that one. I know Mitch is, scrambling, trying to get an opponent.
Yeah. And he's undefeated as well, too. Yeah. So, and he has 2 belts. So, I do see that Rob is putting in a lot of work. I follow him. I follow his journey. And I hope to see him go pro. Honestly, I think it's just time. I thought after his last fight, it was a good fight. I know he's working on his ground game a lot. He's an amazing striker, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I remember one fight I saw, and he knocked the guy out. I think it was Sean, and it was him against Sean, and he knocked him out. Yeah. It was just like right before my eyes, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And it was a good. I was surprised, because I had seen Sean fight at a different fight promotion, and he knocked someone out. So I already knew that this fight was going to be a really good one, and it turned out to be exactly that. And so I would love to see Rob go pro, and maybe see him go to the Contender Series too. I think he might have potential for that too.
I mean, I think that if the coronavirus didn't hit, he would be probably prepared to go pro, because I wanted him to take one more fight, because he's had a layoff. One more fight, see where he's at, and then turn professional. Yeah. But we had talked, it was kind of back and forth whether we were going to go pro or not. But I think that just because you have so much time off, it might be best for him to take one more amateur fight and then turn professional.
Mm-hmm. Now, would you consider like maybe going to Titan for pro if it's not him debuting at Combat Night Pro?
I'd like him to fight Combat Night, to be honest with you. I mean, Mitch has always done great by us. That's my guy.
Yeah.
But I'll fight any promotion. It doesn't matter to me, as long as, when it comes to professional, the contract has to, line up correct. The fight has to be the right fight, and you have to have the right money on the table. So it doesn't matter to me. But I would, pick Combat Night before any other promotion, as long as he could, match whatever any other promotion offers. But you're fighting your first pro fight, you're not going to make any real money and stuff like that. But
but you're building yourself up.
Sure.
So it will take time, but I have faith. And I know Rob, he has a lot of dedication to not only training, but his business as well. So we'll have him on a later show, guys. we'll talk to Rob then. So you have Stay Ready merch, and where can people buy like your merchandise? I know I have a shirt. I'm trying to
I
get a
appreciate
hoodie
that support. I
soon.
appreciate that support. You can get it. I usually have the link on my bio. It's FTRR, the Warrior brand. So they're based out in California, and they do all my merchandise. And you can just purchase with them. The link's always in my bio. So I have T-shirts and sweater or hoodies.
Yeah. So what about the masks? I saw like I guess the gator type of mask too. Is that
Yeah,
only like you
Rob was
in person?
that was something. Nah, that was just like for the coronavirus real fast. Because when I opened up the gym and I started opening back up for my clients and stuff like that, I wanted people to feel safe. And
Yeah.
I didn't want at that time it was so new. So I mean, I don't have any more masks. We did like 20 of them. I sold out in like 10 minutes.
Honestly,
So,
I think they're pretty cool. I would wear them. So
yeah, they were good masks. They were good. Yeah, maybe
they're
we should do a
limited
recall
edition.
second wave. So, yeah, for sure.
Well, I hope to get one soon. We'll see.
I got you.
Yeah. And then so I mean, what plans do you have for 2021? 2020, I'd say was pretty good for you too. It's a challenge. I feel like this was a year of challenge.
Yeah, 2021 is I just want to keep winning. That's most important. I got some camps we're capping off now. Marlon's getting ready to fight in next month against Rob Font, December 10th, I think like that, something like that. Marlon's fighting, so I'm trying to get those done. Miguel's obviously fighting Saturday, and I got a little bit of a stable of guys that I'm really just trying to shoot out. So for 2021, it's all about just continuously a hard pace. Get winning.
That I know.
Everybody starts small. You got to build yourself up. That's the way it is. It's a business.
Hopefully one day we'll be able to get a session. I've been trying to get a session with you, but like life is just life. And one day I'm going to come in and we're going to get some work in for sure.
Got you. Let me know when you're here. We'll link up. Maybe are the fights live or what? Are you allowed to attend them?
Yeah. It's, I think the first one that they're having with the crowd, December 19th. It was supposed to be the same night that Rob is fighting in Jacksonville. Okay. So it's the 19th. I'm going to be there. I get there on the 18th and I actually have like, another podcast I'm filming and like a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm doing down there. But I'm actually going to be in Hollywood. I'm going to be at K Rico. I don't know if have you been to that coffee shop?
No, never.
I think it's on Hollywood. Going down, it's right before that one. Young Circle, I believe. Yeah. So
I'm like literally my gym's 3 minutes from Young Circle.
Yeah. It's
let me know if I'm not
east,
if I'm not in Jacksonville. Let me know. If
I mean, hopefully you do, Rob. But we do wish you that you get an opponent for sure. But if anything, I'll let you guys know. We got a couple of weeks to find out what's going to happen with Rob.
Yeah.
So, again, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate the time that you're taking for this. Thanks for the exclusive that you're retiring for bare knuckle.
There you go. You got it. I'll feel like an idiot if I have to make a return with Jim. For sure. I got you though.
No retractments. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Lisa with the Z Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, tag, do all of that. Thanks for tuning in, guys.